Arnold Palmer says, success in this game depends less on strength of body than it does on strength of mind and character. So I'm going to talk about golf. It is a sport for all ages and sizes, whether you're short or tall or young or old. You can always pick up a club and play golf. I'm going to talk about 3 different topics. The first topic I'm going to talk about is the different parts of the golf course and what they are. The second topic I'm going to talk about is the different types of golf clubs used, and from short range clubs all the way to distance clubs. And then the third main part I'm going to talk about is the different parts of scoring and how you score. So first, the different parts of the course. I'm going to start with tee boxes. There's usually 3 or 4 on a hole at the very beginning of the course. And the farthest one up to the hole is usually red. It's for juniors, and it's the closest. Then it goes back tee box, and then there's blue for women's tee boxes, and then even farther is men's tee boxes, which are usually white, and then there's also usually a 4th tee box, which is for a professional. And there's usually 18 holes per course. And so we're going to start with the rough. The rough isn't maintained at all. It is pretty long, so it's harder to get a clean shot, and it's harder to go farther. It's harder to have the ball go farther. Also, the fairway, which is this green line up the center, that is really maintained and pretty short, so you can get good contact with the ball and hit it farther and straighter. There's also the green right here, which has the hole on it, and that's where the main part of the game is, to get the ball in the hole. And it's also maintained like the fairway, but it is still shorter than the fairway grass. There's also hazards like sand trap, water hazards, and out of bounds, but I'm going to talk about those later. So, like I said, there's usually 18 holes per course, and if there's 9 holes per course, then you'd go through 2 more. Then you'd go through the course a second time to get the 18 holes in. Then I'm going to talk about the different types of clubs you use while you play the sport. We're going to start with distance clubs. Like, there's a driver, then there's also woods and hybrid clubs, and those are supposed to go the farthest. And drivers are what you tee the ball, hit from the tee box to make it go the distance. And then there's also irons, which range from 3 iron all the way to 9 irons. Then there's also, for short range clubs, there's wedges, which there's a pitching wedge, gap, sand, and a lob wedge. The pitching wedge would go the farthest out of the wedges, but it still goes pretty high. The lob wedge is meant to go the shortest distance for the wedges, and it goes even higher. And then, obviously, the putter is what you putt into the golf hole from the green when you're on the green to get the ball in the hole. And then there's also these lines on the golf club. They're called grooves, and they allow the water and debris to move out of the way, so you can get from the golf ball, so you can get cleaner and straighter hit. Then there's scorecards, and the scores are like, for if you hit shot one hit ball off on the tee and it goes in, then it's a hole-in-one, and that's just one shot for the hole. And then there's also eagle, which would be 2 shots. And there is also a birdie, which is 1 under par, which par is the average, and that's what the average hits it should take to get to make it in. And birdie's 1 under par. Then there is par, and then there's bogey, which would be 1 over par. Then there's also double bogey, triple bogey, and so on. So we're going to talk about, I'm going to recap on what I talked about. So I talked about the different parts of the golf course and what they are. Then I talked about what clubs you use while you play the game, from distance clubs, mid-range, to even short-range clubs. Then I talked about how you score the game. And so it doesn't matter who you are, you can always pick up a club and start playing. Thank you.